It wasn't until we surrendered and asked for help, became willing to trust in our higher power, that we began the journey to a new dimension. That same willingness to believe, to trust, to have real faith in something greater than ourselves, is successfully used to relinquish the last vestiges of control over our character defects. I can't. He can. I might as well let him. He can do for us what we cannot do for ourselves. We're going to start with the Serenity Prayer, and then we'll go into the daily reflections. If you or someone you know are questioning yourselves about whether or not you're an alcoholic or whether they are an alcoholic or drug addict, reach out. We can help you. You don't have to do it alone. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Grant me patience with the struggles that take time, and appreciation for all that I have, tolerance of those with different struggles, and the strength to get up and try again, one day at a time. Family obligations. June 11th. A spiritual life which does not include. Family obligations may not be so perfect after all. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 129. I can be doing great in the program, applying it at meetings, at work, and in-service activities, and find that things have gone to pieces at home. I expect my loved ones to understand, but they cannot. I expect them to see and value my progress, but they don't, unless I show them. Do I neglect their needs and desires for my attention and concern? When I'm around them, am I irritable or boring? Are my amends a mumbled sorry? Or do they take the form of patience and tolerance? Do I preach to them, trying to reform or fix them? Have I ever really cleaned house with them? The spiritual life is not a theory. We have to live it. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 83. We don't get sober to be miserable. We get sober to live life, to enjoy the limited days we have been gifted. Our families persevered for years when we are drunkards, and now they deserve to have our sober selves treat them with love. We want to make amends for the way we were, and the best way to do that is to include them in our recovery process if they are willing. We don't force our new way of life on them, but we are open to share it. We explain our journey and how it is a life and death endeavor. That, if we drink, we will die. Like all aspects of recovery, we have to practice the principles in all our affairs with everyone. It is easy to sound good in a meeting, but where the rubber meets the road is in the other 23 hours of the day, when we are in traffic, or when we are with our families and they don't understand. This is where we practice patience, love, kindliness, and tolerance, where we pray for help and remember we have admitted we are powerless and that He has the power. We turn it over to Him. It makes it easier to stay sane and focus on how we can help, not escalate the situation by taking anything personally. Our families come around as we practice this new way of living. They are hesitant, but like what they are seeing. Keeping the communication open is important for healing. Alcoholism is a family disease. This dream world has been replaced by a great sense of purpose, accompanied by a growing consciousness of the power of God in our lives. We have come to believe He would like us to keep our heads in the clouds with Him, but that our feet ought to be firmly planted on earth. That is where our fellow travelers are, and that is where our work must be done. These are the realities for us. We have found nothing incompatible between a powerful spiritual experience and a life of sane and happy usefulness. We are doing it for us and to repair the damage we have done, and don't want to do more damage in sobriety. We let our family members see our change and decide for themselves, and we don't force our newfound spirituality on them. We judged ourselves harshly, and now we've learned not to be judgmental of others. It is not our place. Only He can judge. We have given up trying to control. Unless one's family expresses a desire to live on spiritual principles, we think we ought not urge them. We should not talk incessantly to them about spiritual matters. They will change in time. Our behavior will convince them more than our words. We must remember that 10 or 20 years of drunkenness would make a skeptic out of anyone. Family obligations. June 11th. A spiritual life which does not include. Family obligations may not be so perfect after all. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 129. I can be doing great in the program, applying it at meetings, at work, and in-service activities, and find that things have gone to pieces at home. I expect my loved ones to understand, but they cannot. I expect them to see and value my progress, but they don't, unless I show them. Do I neglect their needs and desires for my attention and concern? When I'm around them, am I irritable or boring? Are my amends a mumbled sorry, or do they take the form of patience and tolerance? Do I preach to them, trying to reform or fix them? Have I ever really cleaned house with them? The spiritual life is not a theory. We have to live it. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 83. Please subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching.